السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد. In the last session we talked about the second hadith of the 40 Nawawi hadiths, and we talked about the pillars of Islam. We said that we have 5 pillars of Islam. First and foremost is Shahada, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh, or Ashhadu Muhammadan Rasulullah. And Salah, establishment of Salah, to do Salah the right way, following the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu, alayhi, wasallam. And to pay zakah, to pay the zakah for people assigned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on a yearly basis, if you have the minimum amount of money assigned. And also we have Siyam, fasting the month of Ramadan, and doing Hajj, pilgrimage, for those who can. And we said these are the pillars of Islam. One cannot be a Muslim without the Shahada, and if you do not pray, for many scholars you are not a Muslim either. If you do not pray, period, means that you are an apostate. As for others, most scholars that if you leave zakah, siyam or hajj, it does not take you out of Islam altogether. Now inshallah we're going to talk about the second part of this hadith, hadith of Jibril. We said that it talks about Islam, iman and Ihsan, and some signs of the hereafter. Iman. The word iman, in fact there is no equivalent for this word in English. Some people use believe in, but it doesn't really convey the right meaning, because believing in does not merely mean that you believe someone or something is true or right. Iman means that believing in someone or something, and in this case believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it contains acceptance and submission, because some people may believe and still they do not accept, and some people accept but still do not follow. For example, Abu Talib, the uncle of the Prophet sallallahu, alayhi, wasallam, he believed that Muhammad sallallahu, alayhi, wasallam was right, was true, but he did not submit. He did not submit to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He did not accept to become a Muslim. So believing is not enough. Just believing is not enough. Now, and we go back to the hadith. Jibril, after finishing with the Prophet ﷺ, told him that Islam is to say Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, to bear witness that there is no God worthy of worship rightfully except Allah, and that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is his messenger, and to establish salah the right way, following the sunnah, and to pay the alms, fast the month of Ramadan, and do pilgrimage for those who can. And then Jibril and then he says sadaqt. Jibril tells Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, sadaqt means that you are right. And Umar radiyallahu anhu, the reporter of this hadith, says that we were amazed that, he asks him and then he says you're right. So, because usually if you say you're right, means that you already know. So this is very strange. And then Jibril tells the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, tell me about iman. Tell me about iman. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, أن تؤمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر وتؤمن بالقدر خيره وشره. To believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His angels, His books, His messengers, and the last day, and predestination, the good of it and the bad. And then Jibril again says, you are right. Now we need to stop here and take each fundamental of this separately. Believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, iman billah, because we have these 6 fundamentals of iman. Believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In what way? How? And what are the principles of believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? First, we need to believe in the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this belief, in fact, most people have no problem with that. That there is a God and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exists. For most people, even for non-Muslims, they know that God exists. Except for some people who are too arrogant to admit, but deep inside them they know that there is a God for this universe. So we believe that He exists. And then we believe in Allah, that Allah is the Lord of the universe. When we say Lord, which means Rabb in Arabic, it means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is alone the Lord of this universe. It means that He is the only creator of this universe, and He is the true owner of this universe, the true sovereign of this universe, and He is the one who handles everything. The planets, the galaxies, everything is handled by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the first aspect. When we believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as Rabb, Lord of universe. And again, with this respect, there is no much difference between people. As among Muslims, almost all Muslims know this. If you don't have that, it means that you're not Muslim, period. So all Muslims believe that Allah is the Lord of the universe. No question about it. They know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created this universe and that He owns everything and everyone. And they know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala controls everything. Controls the air, the wind, the earth, the galaxies. Everything is controlled by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even if some people do not technically know these slight details, but still they generally believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Lord of the universe. So all Muslims believe in that. So we Muslims have no problem with that. All Muslims. And then the third aspect, we said existence, lordship, and then third aspect is we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only true God worthy of being worshipped by us and by everything. In this sense, we believe that all the other gods, because we believe that there are other gods, but we believe that they are false gods, they are not true gods. And no one, God or not, has a right to be worshipped except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He alone has the right to be worshipped. Why? Simply because He owns us, He created us and He owns us, so it follows that He is the only one who deserves to be worshipped. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only true worshipped God of the universe. This is the third aspect. And in this sense, almost all, in the first we said, in the first aspect, in the second aspect, all Muslims agree. Third aspect, most Muslims agree. I say most because some people, knowingly and unknowingly, they associate partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with respect to worship. For example, you see some people go to certain graves of certain probably good people, Allahu A'lam, probably they are really good, but they go to them and they slaughter for them. They take their sheep, for example, or something, and then they slaughter and say, okay, you know, my daughter doesn't really bear children, so, you know, we want you to make her bear children. So, in fact, they are worshipping this man because they are slaughtering for him, although he's dead. And some people believe people, whether sheikhs or scholars or whatever, against the clear texts of Quran and Sunnah. In this sense, you are worshipping them. You are worshipping them because, as the Prophet ﷺ told about the Jews and Christians, that these people used to worship their rabbis and their priests. And then one of them who was a Jew, he said that we did not. He said, didn't you accept what they said and reject what Allah said? They said, yes. So it means that, and this is the worship. So if you accept someone saying, and when it is opposite to what's being said by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or His Prophet, means that you are worshipping Him in a way. So when it comes to this aspect, we have some people who are Muslims. We do not say that anyone who does that is not Muslim. And we have certain conditions to take him out of Islam. It's not that easy. We don't just see anyone who slaughters for someone who is dead and we say, look, you are kafir, you are not Muslim, period. We cannot do that. We need to establish hujjah. We need to establish reason. We tell him that, this is an act, so and so and so, and we give him all the evidence that has to be told. And then after that, we can judge him or not, depends on his situation. But generally, we have people who have a problem with this, that they do not worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. Knowingly or unknowingly, they do not really worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. So this is the third aspect of believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is to believe that He is the only God to be worshipped. And last, the fourth aspect is to believe in Allah's names and attributes. To believe that Allah has certain names and certain attributes, and there is really nothing like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has names, many names. Of course, some people think that it's only 99. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has many names. And we have the hadith that when the Prophet ﷺ in the dua says that I ask you by the name that even you kept for yourself. So obviously there are many names that we do not know.